everyone, and welcome back to Direwolf20's server play. This is episode 7, and today I want to do a little bit of work. Underneath my room here, where I have a bunch of cool stuff going on, I want to do a little bit of building. So I want to drop down here a little bit. I just started to clear this area out. I'm trying to decide exactly how deep I want to go here. I'm thinking something like... I want to make sure there's enough room between my refiner, my sorting factory there, and my underground area, so that I don't, run into myself. So I'm just kind of building out exactly how I want this to go, and I'm going to show you guys a new way to clear out an area. Kind of new, not terribly new, but kind of new. So why don't I get kind of prepared for this, and I will be back. Alright, good enough for now. So I did run into a little cave system here, as you saw, but I'm just going to ignore that for now and see what happens when I clear out this area. So how do I want to clear out this area? Very good question. Why don't I just do a little bit of preparing here. What I want to do, basically, is use these landmarks with my filler again, but I'm doing a slightly different method than I used last time. I'm going to map out my area, maybe a little bit further. But as you can see, I'm going with 4 dimensions, well, 3 dimensions, I guess, 4 torches. So if I activate this guy, it kind of builds the square around exactly as I've set it up. Now, if I were to do the flattening recipe, it would flatten this whole area, including everything above it. Hint, hint, everything above it. Hint, hint, everything above it would not be good. So I'm doing a slightly different recipe. I'm doing a recipe that's called clearing, and it's just all glass, like that. And this will just clear out the area that I've put markers around. Again, different from flattening, because flattening would just flatten the area. Everything above it would get destroyed. Where with clearing, we're only clearing out the stuff inside the box, and we shouldn't affect anything above it. So let's go ahead and activate this guy with a little bit of power. I know my generators are currently running over frequency 3 because I'm producing some fuel, and hooray! It's running, and it's clearing. And we're clearing. Awesome. Doing a rather nice job of it as well, as you can see. And I'm going to have to lay down a new floor here, but that's not a big deal. That doesn't look too bad at all, actually. And I'm probably going to flatten out some more of this area. Oh, it knocked my torch off the wall. How funny is that? Yeah. We'll clear out all blocks, including torches, inside the area. And it should stop. And somebody did post on one of my YouTube videos, it's something I didn't know. You can see once this thing is green, it means it's running. And when it stops running, this will turn red. So that's kind of neat. So let's see. I want to make sure I don't lose anything that's above me. So far, so good. This is the reason I want to be careful about how high I went, because I don't want to knock off any of my combustion engines or anything crazy like that. And it might be getting a little bit dark for you guys, and if that's the case, I apologize, but it looks like it's on its last legs here. Last bit of stuff being dropped. And what should happen is just as it finishes up over there, this should turn from green to red, and it did, which means it's done. So that's pretty neat. So I can now knock this stuff off here, pick my glass back up, and we're done. Awesome. So you can see I just lit up this room and covered up the floorboards. Probably expand it at some point, but for now, it's a good-sized room. I should probably get some kind of ladder going on here, and I might want to run a magnetizer down, but we'll see. For now, I think I'll just get out by using my electric jetpack. Awesome. So why don't I get started on a little build inside this room, and I will be back shortly once I have all the required components. Alright guys, so I'm here in my red power chest, and I want to show you a pretty straightforward recipe here. If I take 3 of the copper ingots, this is red power copper now, not industrial craft copper, and 1 piece of tin, again, red power tin, not industrial craft tin. I'm just going to interrupt this cooking process here that I have making my red alloy ingots. If you take 3 pieces of copper and 1 piece of tin in the alloy furnace, as shown, you're going to wind up with a piece of brass. 4 pieces of brass, to be exact. Hooray! Brass ingots. And let's get back to cooking up some iron. Some red alloy iron, that is. And if I take my brass ingots and 2 pieces of glass in the middle, I get these pneumatic tubes. These guys are pretty cool. It's very similar to the pipes in Buildcraft, but it's all part of the Red Power 2 mod. And Red Power 2 is really shaping up to be a combination of Red Power, Industrial Craft, and Buildcraft. There's a lot going on. A lot of it's not ready yet. It's only in pre-release 3, and LRM, she just started adding some of the machines that she has planned. But from what I can see, it looks like it's going to be a very, very cool mod once it's all done. She's got a whole bunch of stuff planned, and Red Power is definitely cool. So it's called Red Power 2, actually, and this is pre-release 3 that we're currently running. So this is the pneumatic tube. There's another block here I want to make. It's called the block breaker. This is a pretty neat machine, if I do say so myself. Let me grab a few pieces of iron here. I'm going to need that. And the recipe works like this. Get ourselves a piston first. Place that in your inventory for just a moment. Next you're going to need an iron pickaxe with the piston with a redstone, and you're going to need some cobble down the sides here like so, and you get a block breaker. This is a really nice little device. Let's get ourselves what the heck, just a lever will work for now, just to demo this little thing. So we place down our block breaker, okay? If you guys have seen my tutorial videos before for Red Power, oh, I don't have one, do I? Where's my screwdriver? There's a screwdriver that I need that I apparently don't have one of. So let me make one for you real quick. It's really a pretty simple recipe. There you go. Stick, iron, screwdriver. This is like the wrench equivalent of Buildcraft. It's basically what you use to manipulate all your Red Power tools. And if you right click on your block breaker, you'll see the face just kind of reorients randomly, and you can just get it to the direction you want it to go. And the brick breaker, or the block breaker here, when it receives a redstone signal, which I'll do by giving it a little lever here, doesn't do anything unless there's a block in front. Oh, check that out. Spit the block backwards like that. This is just a lighting bug. You can ignore that little shadow that it left on the ground. So that's pretty cool. Very cool, as a matter of fact. And there's this little hole in the back here. I'm doing this in a little bit of cramped quarters. But if I go ahead and place down these pneumatic tubes, you'll see that they're pretty intelligent about how they orient themselves. And I can click that, and it'll send the item through the tube. Something you guys have probably seen a handful of times in Industrial Craft. And of course, if I have a chest, which I have none of, why don't I make one real quick? Chest. Redstone signal applied, breaks the block in front of it, and deposits the item in the chest. Pretty spiffy. Definitely cool. And you might be saying to yourself, Direwolf, what's the point here? Can't Buildcraft do most of this already? Yeah, it can do some of this already, but Red Power 2 gives us some neat little tools that Buildcraft doesn't have, specifically that block breaker there. And it has its own little way of transporting items. Now these pneumatic tubes definitely have some neat features. They're very intelligent about how they place their items. They'll only connect to and place items in an inventory slot like a chest or a refiner or something like that. Work pretty similar to Buildcraft pipes, like I said, but they're cool and you'll want to check them out. So let's see. I was building or cooking up myself some red alloy ingots, so that's perfect. Why don't I go ahead and get myself some more wiring. And drop my excess red alloy ingot in my red power chest there. And why don't I head downstairs into my basement where I was building stuff before. Looks like my refiners are almost done. Oh, look at all that fuel. Beautiful. I will be back shortly. Alright, so here I am in that little basement room that I dug out. And I'm just going to head into the back corner here. And I'm going to replace... Well, looks like I didn't bring any dirt with me. There's me not thinking ahead too clearly. This'll work for now. Want everything to look nice, don't we? So I will be smoothing out this room just a little bit, but I think for now I can handle this. Alright, so I got this little dirt section set up here, and I want to set down some water. You can see I just built myself a little infinite water pool here with which to fill stuff up with. Hooray! Nice and smooth amount of water. Now, what I want to do... Now, I'm only going to build one of these for now, but you'll see how this works in a moment. I'm just going to place some reeds here. All well and good. And these reeds will happily grow. And then what I want to place next to the reed is a block breaker. Like that. And then I want to run some red alloy wires. And of course this isn't compact, I'm doing this just so that you guys see how it works. And the next thing I want to do is place down this timer. But I'm not going to activate it just yet. I'm going to get this redstone torch ready, and I'm also going to throw down a lever for now. And why don't I go grab some bone meal, just so I can get this stuff to grow quicker. I'll be right back. Okay, I did grab some bone meal, but I'm just going to see if this guy will grow for me real quick. And while I'm waiting for him to grow, I'm just going to knock out the wall behind this thing and grab those pneumatic tubes that I got. And I'm going to hook them up such that the tubes come out over here. And again, not a terribly perfect system, but I'm just going to have them land in this chest. Alright, let's give this a try. Bone meal work? No, it does not work on reeds. Alright, I'm just going to have to wait a few minutes for these reeds to grow, so don't mind me. I'll be back once these reeds have grown. Alright, while waiting for those reeds to grow, I'm going to make another item from Red Power 2's mod. Using a chest, and don't mind all that silly nonsense that you're seeing. That's actually because I changed some of my mods earlier. That's why I'm getting those silly achievements got reset. So I'm going to place down my piston, my chest, some redstone, and some cobble down the sides. Gives us a deployer. Now this guy is really cool. Why don't I lay him on the ground here? And I'll get myself another lever. So again, supplying redstone current activates the deployer. What's the deployer do? Anything that you place in this chest will be right-click version of it placed in front of it. So for example, how do you place down a cobblestone block? By right-clicking on the ground. Right? So with a cobblestone block in there, if I right-click and activate with a redstone current, it places the block. Not too shabby. Alright, so let's say you had a piece of dirt sitting on the ground. Feasible. And let's say you had an iron hoe. And you placed your iron hoe inside your deployer. And you activate your deployer. Oh, look at that. It tilled the ground. So basically anything you place in here has the effect of being right-clicked. So let's say I had some melon seeds inside my deployer, and I right-click. Oh, there's a melon seed there now. You can hopefully see it. Just going to break that guy. So let's go grab a sapling, for example. And we had that in the deployer. If you right-click a sapling on smooth ground. Alright, I guess that doesn't work. Well, it kind of worked. Oh, yeah, it was just a little bit of lag there. But it did show up. Very cool. And I wonder what happens if we put a water bucket in. Oh, guess that doesn't work. But, oh well. I could even put sugar canes in. Alright, maybe sugar canes don't work. Oh, you know why sugar cane won't work there? Because there's not water in the block next to it. Sugar canes can only only be placed down if there's water in the block next to this. Oh, yep, it worked. Sweet. So that's how the deployer works. Basically, whatever's inside the chest, most things will be just the right-click equivalent of them. And also, by the way, why don't I do this? Let's get some seeds here. Let's check this out, shall we? Put down this lever again. Oh, that's a block breaker. Wondering why the interface wasn't working. So let's put some seeds in there and activate it. Oh right. We have to till it first. We'll make it nice and pretty. Activate it this time, and the seeds landed. If we had bone meal in there and activated it, it automatically grows, as if we had right-clicked with bone meal and it used it. You can see where we're going with this, right? Yeah, this is pretty cool. So why don't I make myself a fancy little melon farm? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a block breaker and a deployer, and I got a redstone torch here, and all kinds of nifty stuff. I think I've got everything I need. I'm going to leave these seeds in here, and I'm just going to grab some melon seeds. I'm going to head back downstairs. And maybe my reed has grown since I left it. Oh yeah, it has. Look at that. Cool. So what happens when a redstone signal is applied to this block breaker? Oh, it chopped down the reed for me, and it probably happened too quick for us to see it, but it sent it into the chest. So, let's say instead of a lever here, I had a timer. And we could even make our interval here like, every 30 seconds. So every 30 seconds, this guy is going to send a redstone pulse, and it'll chop down if there's a reed here. And it'll get stuck in this chest. Sweet. Is this chunk force loaded? It is. You can see the little red line here from my pressing F9. So this chunk will stay loaded, and this thing will just run and run and run. And probably when I log in tomorrow, I'll have a chest full of sugar canes. Super cool. So while I'm at it, why don't I build another little system here? I'm going to need a little bit more dirt, I think. So let's just do... This isn't going to look pretty, guys. I apologize, but this is me just kind of half showing off what these mods can do. I'll make it look better later. So let's say we had a deployer and a block breaker, and the deployer had an iron hoe in it, and the block breaker, I brought down a chest with me because I figured I'd forget something, hooked up to pneumatic tubes with a chest. And I could run some redstone cabling here. And what should probably happen is I'm going to plant my melon seeds. And in order to do that, I need my hoe real quick. Then I can put my hoe back in the deployer, my block breaker's there, plant my melon seeds, and let's try it with bone meal. Does bone meal work on a melon seed? It does, but it won't grow the melon. Alright, so what's going to happen here when this thing ticks? It should activate the block breaker, which will break the block in front of it, directly there, and then it'll activate my deployer, which uses the iron hoe, to re-plow the ground there. So the ground isn't plowed just yet, and we're about to hit the 30-second mark, and you can see the deployer just ticked, and the ground was plowed. Now, if there had been a melon sitting there, the block breaker would have hit the melon and sent it into the chest. Yeah, right-clicking that guy doesn't do a whole lot, except waste bone meal, it seems. So why don't I wait a little bit here and see if I can't get, I'm even going to break this thing, because I don't want it to accidentally kick off. Why don't I wait a few minutes here and see if I can get a melon to grow, and I'll be back. Alright guys, looks like we're in luck. We just got ourselves a melon here. Sweet. So, and we can also look in our chest here and see that we're up to 3 sugar canes. So we've gotten a couple sugar cane in this time. And that guy's about halfway through, so we got about 15 seconds here to lay down this cabling. So let's see what happens when it right clicks. So that timer should tick over. We should get a flash of redstone power. Sweet. It picked up the melon. If we look in our chest here, we got 7 melon pieces. How cool is that? Now, did it replow the field? It did replow the area, so that's cool. I wasn't sure if I'd need a delayer somehow for this iron hoe, but it looks like it's pretty good. I guess because of the way melons work, they hit the ground and automatically untill it. So this guy tilling at the same time that this guy picks up seems to have worked. So we've now got a melon farmer. This will just sit here. This guy will regrow a new melon, and within 30 seconds of this thing growing, it'll suck the melon chunks right into this chest. So how cool is that? We could easily set up some more reed farms going on here. We could just line this wall with reeds and a bunch of block breakers and get a whole bunch of reeds getting farmed. I think that's pretty neat. So I'm going to leave this overnight, and I'll be really curious to see what happens in the morning when I log in. To be honest with you, I suspect a full chest of melons and pretty close to full chest of reeds, or sugarcane, whatever you want to call them. So I think that's a good wrapping up point for this episode. It might have been a little bit of a short episode. I don't time these things when I record them. Hopefully it wasn't too short, but I do need to call it an early night. I got a late start this evening, so I'm going to wrap this episode up. Hope you guys enjoyed watching, and I will catch y'all next time when I have some more cool things to show y'all. Alright, take it easy.